I'd like to offer a hesped eulogy in memory of a giant of a man, Rabbi Jacob Reiner Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, my first Rav from 53 years ago in Bell Harbor. Not only did he play a crucial role in my life, my family's life, of course, in the life of all the congregants in Bell Harbor, but really, if we think of it, played an important role in all of Klal Yisrael's life. If you think about America in the 1900s, early 1900s, it was not clear where Orthodoxy was heading and if it was going to succeed in any way. Reform was there for centuries earlier. Conservative movement was very strong already for decades earlier. There were a few Orthodox communities earlier on in America, but the lion's share of the Jewish community certainly was within the Reform conservative movements, and was Orthodoxy even going to be able to make it? So Baruch Hashem, the Gedolim arrived in the early 1900s, and the average Jew was just looking to get by, trying to find a way to live, and all the scary stories about the East Side, working during the week, losing the job on Shabbat, and then looking for another job. The idea that maybe a young man will study for smicha, go into the rabbinate, and try to go ahead and lead an Orthodox community. So in the year 2017, yeah, of course, that's a beautiful thing to do. The 1950s, not so simple. And all those young rabbis, those young Talmidim from 70 years ago that chose that path, it wasn't just another young man getting smicha, and Yetz Hashem, he'll have in the pulpit in the tri-state area, maybe out west somewhere, maybe middle America. Not so simple. It was very different back then. Rabbi Reiner, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, chose a path which was new and it was daring. But he knew they had a responsibility to perpetuate the Masorah and to build up Orthodoxy in America, and that's the path that he chose, starting off in Massachusetts, and then, of course, for many, many decades, leading us all in Bell Harbor. I remember like yesterday, sitting on his lap like a little baby, a year, 2, 3, 4 years old. And then how zocher was I? What a zechut I had that my children, a few decades later, when I was living married in Bell Harbor already, and Sarah sitting on his lap in those early years, and Shmuel. So to have the Musa of Rabbi Reiner that I had as a little child, and then for my children to have that as well, was an amazing, amazing zechut. Rabbi Reiner has such a love of Yeshiva Bell Harbor, where I attended, my children attended as well. And he knew that that was such a crucial part of the community. And he supported it, and he built it up. And he knew that the Torah must continue. It's very nice to have a shul, but you need to have an elementary school where the kids can learn and to grow. And one of the great speeches that I remember about him was the one when we dedicated the mikveh in Bell Harbor. He stood there so proud because he knew that a shul is a crucial part of a community, a yeshiva is a crucial part, and another indispensable part, of course, is a mikveh, which there were efforts over the years, but it took a long time to build and develop. And he stood up by the mikveh site when it was built and it was ready to be dedicated. He had such glory, such pride in his eyes that this is another step forward in building a beautiful Torah community. And I remember we spent just a week ago, we didn't see each other for quite a while, but what an unbelievable privilege I had. One of my greatest days I've had in so long, where he was in town, as full circle goes, his great-grandchild is learning in Dachei Noam, where I have the amazing zechut to be the principal. So he's in Israel visiting his children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and he comes to visit Dachei Noam. We make up a time to meet. I have the honor of showing him around Dachei Noam, the gan where his great-grandchild learns. And we're sitting in the office and just reminiscing and going back for years and years, but all the amazing times in Bell Harbor together, to learn together, going to his shiurim together. And then as I was learning more in Bell Harbor, he gave me the privilege and the honor to give shiurim in the community, in the main shul and downstairs by the early minyan. I was just reminiscing, and he's looking around my office. And we're just living through history together. In my office, I have pictures of all the different Gedolim. From the Satmar Rebbe to Rav Kook, Rav Shach, Lubavitcher Rebbe. But among all the Gedolim, there's a few that stick out. Rav Soloveitchik, prominently featured in several places, and Rav Aaron Lichtenstein. And of course, when Rabbi Reiner saw that, he learned under Rav Soloveitchik. He was in the Kollel when Rav Lichtenstein was there as well. He had a nice relationship with Rav Lichtenstein. He actually brought him out for scholar in residence many, many decades ago. And he lit up to see that these two giants had such prominent places in my life, because they're such prominent places in his life as well. But he also surprised me with the story about the Satmar Rebbe, which from an ideological standpoint, we know that Reiner and myself, certainly in the ideology of Satmar, that's not where we're at regarding the state of Israel. He said, I had a beautiful encounter with him. I said, really? Reiner, how? In Bell Harbor, he used to come. Satmar used to come to Bell Harbor in the summer, spend some time relaxing there. And he went ahead, and they wanted to start an orphanage for some children from unfortunate situations and backgrounds. A lot of leaders in the community in Bell Harbor did not want to do it. And they wanted to get Rabbi Reiner Zatzal to sign against it. And Rabbi Reiner said, no, I will not sign it. Satmar Rebbe has a holy project that he wants to do. I'm not going to sign against that. And the Satmar Rebbe, next time he was out in Bell Harbor, he met with Rabbi Reiner, gave him a bracha and a big yashikoach. Rabbi Reiner said how warm and friendly he was. So that picture lit up Rabbi Reiner as well. And Rav Moshe Feinstein, of course, another picture featured prominently in the school. And Rav Moshe has a tshuva. Rav Moshe, one of the greatest poskim in America in the 20th century. So Rabbi Reiner Zatzal has a tshuva. It's in there in Rav Moshe's tshuvas about the mechitza, when we were adding on to the mechitza in Bell Harbor. The early years of mechitza was one level, and then it was raised a bit and had a certain kind of a design. So is it proper? Is it not proper? Yes, Rav Moshe Feinstein, and there's the tshuva in Igros Moshe, prominently featuring a question from Rabbi Reiner. So there we were, a few weeks back in my school, enjoying each other, just talking, reminiscing. And Hashem, such love was in the air that goes back over half a century. And then Motzi Shabbat, for his grandson to come to my door right when Shabbat is over and tell me something horrible happened. And I ran right over to the hotel to see Rebitz and Reiner there. And what's there to say? She played such a crucial role in Bell Harbor community, always by the rabbi's side. What a great lady. And even in the ultimate moment of tragedy, so regal, so sweet, thanking me for coming. That's the least I would do. But still thinking of others. I only wish her just nechama, to the whole family nechama. And that Yetz Hashem, the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, should just continue to carry on the legacy of Rabbi Reiner Zecher Tzadik Livracha. I guess it's a special mission that I have now to educate his great-grandchild. And I hope that I can take what Reiner gave me and pass that on to 4 generations later from Rabbi Reiner, to perpetuate his Masorah of love of Klal Yisrael, love of all the Jews, love of Torah, and the courage to build Torah in the early years in America when it was not so pasha, not so simple at all. I hope Hashem gives me that strength and that courage to perpetuate our Masorah, and to carry on Rabbi Yaakov Reiner Zecher Tzadik Livracha's unbelievable legacy. His memory should just be for blessing. We should all be able to perpetuate his Masorah, and his family should all have nechama.